interested in down level projects. Those are the real Six Sigma projects. So the top down approach is this. You create a dashboard. From the strategy, you identify project. That is top down. But most of the time, the projects are identified from bottom up approach only. But we don't want to compromise because of that. We identify projects from the operational level, but we ensure that the projects align with the strategy. We do it in the opposite way, right? And now there are different processes exist in any organization. Whatever product you are manufacturing, whatever service you are offering, definitely you will have these type of functions like market study or market research, and then there will be a product development, and then there will be process development, and then order fulfillment, and then end of life, right? So these are called level 1 process. These are called level 1 process. And under market study or under product development, there will be designing, there will be prototyping, and then redesigning and design approval. These are called level 2. Similarly, come to the order fulfillment. Receiving the order is a process. Somebody will be working on order receiving, isn't it? Sales and marketing. And then after order receiving, there will be scheduling the production. Order is received. I need to produce this much within the next 30 days. And then I actually produce. And then I prepare the shipment. And once the shipment is prepared, and then we can start closing the bills. And one of the activities is payment to the supplier. Now, making payment to the supplier is one of the level 2 process, which comes under the order fulfillment. Order fulfillment is a level 1 process. See, this knowledge is really important, and so that you will be able to identify which particular process is actually troubling you if a failure happens. And now this supplier payment process is now further visualized. Can somebody tell me what are these things written? Retrieve the invoice, ensure the compliance, and ensure the supplier detail, validate the signature, make the payment, and communicate the supplier. What is this? What are these called? These are called the task. Individual, like the down level task. A process will have a lot of tasks, isn't it? And each and every task is listed. And then now here only the individuals will be working. But supplier payment is a level 2 process, and it comes under order fulfillment. So why we are discussing about level 1, level 2, and then the task level? Because we really need to know, the problem comes from which process, and thereby we will try to map the process and then improve the process. See, before solving any problem, you should know the process, and then you should know where your process starts and where your process ends. And definitely you will gain the clarity if we go through a few more tools. And then, for example, a KPI in an organization level dashboard is NPS. What is NPS? Net Promoter Score. Hope you could have come across this Net Promoter Score. A lot of people are using your product, but actually what proportion of them are really willing to become your promoter? They will refer their friends and they will refer their colleagues, right? So this is an important KPI, which is very meaningful to your top management, right? And this Net Promoter Score depends on order management. And order management, one KPI here is order confirmation lead time. Every order comes, so how quickly you are confirming the order. And then production, order fulfillment comes. Order fulfillment lead time. Do you take more time to deliver the product, or you take less time? Because all these things finally impacts your Net Promoter Score. And similarly, any customer service, any problem happens, customer comes to your company, how quickly you resolve them? Do you make them meet everybody in the company, or is it just one person could meet and then he can get his problem solved? So the number of person a customer should meet to get their problem resolved, that's called a first call resolution. So likewise, and all these things, if you improve, obviously your Net Promoter Score will be healthier. And that means your organization dashboard will be healthier if the department level dashboards are healthier. And again, you can keep on connecting your KPIs, right? All right. And now, see here, I have, see here now I am combining certain things here. My Hoshin X matrix and then the balance scorecard. Do you see here project 1, project 2, project 3, project 4, project 5? What are these things? These come from my Hoshin matrix. Clear? Hoshin matrix as list of projects, isn't it, at the operational level? And then the finance, and then some KPIs are written here. Out of the so many KPIs, some are from financial pillar, some are from customer pillar, some are from process pillar, some are from learning and growth pillar. That means when I do this project, what will be the what will be the improvement in terms of learning and growth? If I do this project, how it will improve my processes? If I do this project, how it will improve my customer KPI? So this is what I'm interested in finding out, right? So these KPIs are identified. These are otherwise called as business specific criteria. Otherwise called as business specific criteria. Actually, these criteria are picked up from your balance scorecard only. Done. And now I assign a weightage. The total weightage is 100. For example, I want to maximize the profit. The first KPI is I want to maximize the profit. The second KPI is I want to improve the revenue, right? And something like that. The third one could be my operational cost, something like that. Now for each KPI, how much weightage you want to give? 20%, 10%, it goes like this. Finally, the total is how much? 100%, right? So now do you understand? You have 8 KPIs, out of which is most important to your company? Can somebody tell me here? Finance KPI is most important, or process, or equally important? So certain things. We gave a weightage of 30 to what? 30 to financial KPI. And similarly, we gave an importance score of how much? 25 to the process KPI. And another 25 to customer KPI. And another 20 to learning and growth. All right. And now this is done.
Yes.
Now for a list of projects I have in my hand, I will be assigning a score for every project with respect to each KPI. When I do this project, what kind of, how this will impact my profit. For example, this project gives me a saving of, let's say 30 lakhs. This project gives me a saving of 20 lakhs. It goes like this. So I will have some slabs and then projects will be graded. This is a team activity. You need to understand project identification and project selection is a team activity. Maybe a team of black belts, green belts, and then project sponsors and champion will sit together and then, give these kind of ranking. So every project will be rated against each KPI. And now finally, I will get some numbers here. This number is called, the impact each project can make. Now the beauty is, one of you please answer me, where from these KPIs came?
From the Hoshin matrix.
Very good. These KPIs are nothing but the KPIs in your balance scorecard: finance, customer, process, and learning and growth. And where from we picked up the KPIs so that we can categorize them into finance, customer, process, and learning and growth from the Hoshin matrix. So where from the projects are listed in the Hoshin matrix? Based on the organization strategy. Clear? So now all these things are, we are simply ensuring that our projects aligns with the organization strategy. At the same time, it gets prioritized properly with respect to my wants, right? And some companies may give more importance to finance. Some company, their strategy may be to delight their customer. Now they will put more mark here. All their projects will focus on delighting the customers. Some company might focus on operational excellence. Some company might focus on, equipping their people, because next 2 years, I wanted to see to that my people are turning out to be effective people. Then third year, I will have, a new strategy by which, I will become number 1. So what is that your current strategy is? Accordingly, the weightage will differ. Accordingly, the projects will fall in line. Accordingly, it will get prioritized. And now the impact is understood. Now the score, what you see here, is called a weighted score. It's called a weighted score. Weighted score is, the score is 10 here. And what is the weightage for this? 20. 10 into 20, 200. So weighted score is 200. Similarly, 0 into 10, 0, something like that. Now, all the weighted score, if you sum up, you will get some number here. Maybe, let us say 340 you are getting. How much you are getting? 340. So 340 I divide by 100. And now it is 3.4. Because ultimately I want to know the relative importance. You can write the 340 as it is, or you can make the number look smaller also. It depends on how do you want to visualize. So now I wanted to see the number smaller. So after getting the sum product, I divide by 100 and finally I write 3.4. Now there are so many numbers. With this number, what I understand is the 6.4 gains more importance. That means when I support this project in my company, project number 3, the impact will be more. What is this impact? This will help my company achieve the strategic goals in a larger magnitude. And now this is understood. The impact is more. Now, in order to do this project, how much is the effort I need to put in? That is also important. Like people resource. What is the manpower to be devoted? Is there any capital resources required? Or the duration of the project? These are also important. Every project will have a duration. Am I right? So you are providing a ranking in terms of the manpower required, in terms of the capital required, in terms of the duration required. So now the impact score is given. Now, if I get a 4.9 or 7.1 is highest, what do you understand out of this? When 7.2,
the efforts that would be required would be higher over here.
Very good. The project number 5 requires more effort. And what is the impact it is going to make? Only 2.4.
2.4.
But another project is making an impact of 6.4, but its effort required is 4.9. Relative importance. You cannot say like 4.9 means it is some unit. It is relative important. Which is higher, which is lower. That is what we are trying to understand. Now the risk associated. Are there any technical risk associated? I run the project and then I get stuck up in the middle, and then managerial risk, and then total risk. So the risk also quantified. Now, which project comes with more risk? Probably this 5.9, project 3. This is how you need to list the project. You need to prioritize the project, and then only you should create a plan.
So which one should we execute first?
Yeah, we will visualize. We will visualize the results like this. And now you tell me, there are 5 projects. We have not even named the projects, right? Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we are saying, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now 1 means first project, 2 means second project, like that. And then the x-axis talks about the effort. Y-axis talks about the impact. You want to run a high impact project or a low impact project? Now tell me, which is high impact project?
3.
Project 3.
Project number 3 is high impact. And it requires an effort, moderate effort is required. Am I right?
Yes.
And now the size of the ball talks about the risk associated. Now, which projects comes with more risk?
3.
And now you have to make a wise choice. There is a risk, there is an impact, and there is an effort component. And now tell me which could be a best option.
4. 2 and 4.
1.
4 and
4 and 1.
Very good. So this is how it works. See, if you present all these things, the project sponsor will be able to take a wise decision. Am I correct? Am I correct or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Though it looks complex, but actually it is complex only. So these formats will be shared and then you can do it. So now we got some idea. Actually, we talked about both step 1 as well as step 2 together. Now, stakeholders. And now these are all very light things only. Now tell me, as far as the training program is concerned, black belt training program, right? I want to know who are the stakeholders here. And first of all, we will read out the definition of the stakeholder. A stakeholder is a party that has an interest in a company and can either affect or be affected by the business. Stakeholder can affect the business or the business can affect the stakeholder, right? The primary stakeholder is a typical corporation or its investors, employees, customers, suppliers, right? These are the things you can see, like the customer, government, design collaborator, owners, employee, shareholders, suppliers, society, intellectual community, financial leasing institution, the bank that has provided you the fund. And now tell me, Suppose if you are working in a company XYZ, which is conducting this kind of training program, can you figure out the stakeholders here? Who are the stakeholders now? Who is the customer now?
Three.
Who is the customer? All of you are the customer, right?
Right.
Right. Then who are the stakeholders? With your knowledge, who are all going to be affected? With your certification, who are all going to be benefited? With the kind of money you are investing, who are all going to be benefited and who are all going to be affected?
The
Organization will be benefited.